The Paris Masters tournament director has revealed why players thought court conditions this year were too slow. Runner-up Daniil Medvedev, who won the title last year, was one of the players to criticize the speed last week. Ahead of the final between Medvedev and Novak Djokovic, Guy Forget admitted he made a change to the courts several years ago, that he kept silent from the players. Medvedev was arguably the favorite coming into the tournament last week, as not only the defending champion but the recent US Open winner, while world number 1 Novak Djokovic had spent almost 2 months away from competition. The Rolex Paris Masters was Djokovic's first tournament following his crushing defeat to the Russian in the US Open final, and it was tough to tell how the Serb would fare after a prolonged break, but he was victorious at the end of the week, lifting a record 37th Masters 1000 title and securing a 7th finish at year-end number 1, surpassing Pete Sampras' record of 6. Defending champion Medvedev had shared his concerns over the court speed earlier in the week, as multiple players and coaches on site said they were playing slow. This year, if you look at the matches and the way they are playing, it is super slow for indoor hard courts, especially for Bercy, which is one of the fastest tournaments of the year. I want to say too slow for indoor hard courts, the 25-year-old said. We have clay, we have outdoor hard courts that can be slow. Indoor hard courts is not made to be slow. So I don't know why they try to invent things and make these balls that slow down play. I have no idea why, because last year was not the case. After the criticisms, tournament director Guy Forget addressed the concerns raised by players including Medvedev, and revealed he had actually sped the courts up a few years ago. Responding to comments that the courts were now too slow, the Paris Masters and Roland Garros boss said, "This subject matters for me. 4 years ago, I pioneered an acceleration of the court. The courts had become too slow in Paris. I remember a chat about this with Roger Federer. We had to go faster." Following his chat with the Swiss tennis star, Forget asked the boss of Greenset, who make court surfaces, to speed things up, which encouraged the year-end ATP finals to follow suit when the tournament was still held in London's O2 Arena. So I discreetly asked Javier Sanchez, CEO of Greenset Tennis, to accelerate the court, he continued. It was much faster, the Hawkeye confirmed. Some players noticed, even if I asked Javier to keep silent. After that, London asked to have the same speed for the ATP finals. From this point, we kept the same composition, the same wooden ground support, the same resin, the same silica being the sand which allows the surface to be abrasive and more or less quick. Forget also shared several factors that could affect how fast or slow the ball felt for different players, and revealed that different players were sensitive to different changes in court condition. What I can say is that the center court is set 2 days after courts 1 and 2. And every new day of competition leads to a 1% acceleration, so you have a gap between these courts. Also, the center court is much bigger so the ball doesn't fly the same way, he explained. Another thing is that the ball has a big influence on the speed of the game. In Vienna and St. Petersburg, one of the tournaments used faster balls, so the players could feel a difference. Concerning the ball, we know also that the rubber of tennis balls might have changed in the last few months because of some shortage of raw materials worldwide. Some players tell me the balls aren't the same compared to 6 months ago. The tournament chief also admitted it was tough to ignore comments from the world number 2, but pointed out that Medvedev had his own stellar performances during the week, despite not favoring the conditions. With Medvedev and others, we talk about players who are highly sensitive to any change, who'd like to master every parameter in the competition. So some say it's slower, others say it's faster, others like Novak say that the ball goes fast if you smash it well. When Medvedev speaks, you hear it louder of course. But I think that if he suffers the slowness of the court in final in the same way he suffered in his brilliant semi-final against Zverev, he'll know that at the end of the day, he can cope with it.